Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so Patel sir, thank you for those kind words. Yes, indeed. Um, this particular series is a result of, I don't know how many hundreds of hours of reading, listening to different TED Talks, doing certification programs, and then making a content on this. And for everyone on the call, there is no one who helps me make PPTs. I make my own presentations. So having those concepts and then putting it into a PPT, designing it, and making it ready so that all of you, whenever you are there, it benefits. And so this is only from our side to ensure that you become the best versions of yourself. You don't make the mistakes that we made. I have made blunders in my life. If someone would have taught these things to me at the start of my career, I would have done much better. I'm still doing well in my life, but I would have done much better, right? So, and again, I have never been a person who wants numbers because I believe quality is always in a class. You never find quality in a mass, right? So these are things that only a few understand its importance, and as Patel have said, the importance of preparation. Right? 99% of today's youth right now are watching a Netflix on their phone or watching some stupid thing on their phones, getting engrossed and engaged and addicted to the social media, and they're only hurting themselves. And I was just studying a research which says, on an average, youngsters today are spending about 3 hours and more on the social media. 3 hours, I'm talking about minimum. It goes, that study goes up to 7 hours. I'm taking the lower of the 3 to 7 hours range. So 3 hours per day is 1,000 hours per year, and 1,000 hours wasted. My goodness. How many books can we read? How many certification programs can we do in 1,000 hours? I can build my skills, but that's the sad part of the whole thing. And but anyways, right? So welcome everyone who is on the call. I thank you for making an uncommon decision to be on this call and to learn while most of your friends and colleagues are doing nothing. When you do nothing, what do you get? Nothing. Yeah, so on that count, let me put up my presentation, and hopefully this will be a helpful session to each one of you. And today we will close at 7:30 because this account that I'm using is actually my brother's account. It's not my account, right? And he has a session at 8 o'clock, so he'll log in early. So we will finish the time today. On air, if I can use that word, at 7:30, and then we will continue with the 90-minute sessions from next Saturday, right? So I believe this was the last slide that we saw last time. Am I correct?
Yes.
Super. Thank you for the confirmation. Right. So let's move on, and we are still working upon our understanding the reputation funnel, right? And that is what we are trying to do, right? And moving on and starting the session for today, right? And if you go and meet your elders in especially the villages or in your family and ask them that in the good old times, how was business conducted, right? And they did not have the fancy technologies that we have today. How did they do business in the good old times? They will talk about the importance of the reputation of the person who is where is my pen? Yeah, so this, yeah, so it was done on reputation, a good name. And if you look at some data, if you go to SIDBI is Small Industrial Development Bank of India, and check how many companies, SMEs, small medium enterprises are are just closing down businesses. They are just going bankrupt, and they're defaulting on loans big time. And if you look at the non-performing assets or the NPAs of the banks, they are at an astonishing number. Talks about how many lakhs of crores of loans are becoming bad loans. People are not bothered about reputations anymore. They just want to make quick money. And one of my inputs to all youngsters on the call is never ever take shortcuts in life, because shortcut is the longest route to complete the sentence. Shortcut is the longest route to filling the blanks. Failure.
Sir.
Never success. Shortcut will never ever give you success. So never take shortcuts. It was done on good reputation. So the question is, what reputation am I building? Am I building a good name for myself, right? And remember the word promise. We said brand is a promise. We said that brand is an expectation of an experience. And then we saw some wonderful points in the previous sessions, right? And talking about trust. So if I were, I'm not sure whether I've shared this with you or not. If you were to build a formula for trust, what would that be? Have I shared this with you earlier?
Yes.
Kapil?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. I have noted also with me.
Yes.
So can anyone tell me what is C that builds trust? So the numerator will build trust, the denominator will destroy trust. And when we talk about reputation, it is so very important that we understand trust. And I will also tell you the A, B, C, and D of trust. I'm not sure whether I've shared this with you or not, but quickly tell me what is C. Check your notes.
The character.
Correct. Fantastic. Thank you, Simaji. Thank you so much. Nice to have you on the call. What else?
Yeah.
Builds. So character builds trust, communications build trust, competency builds trust, consistency will build trust, caring will build trust, so on and so forth, right? So not getting into the detail of it. What is H that builds trust?
Honesty.
Absolutely. And if we were to add an adjective to that, it is brutally honest. I need to be brutally honest first with myself. That builds trust and that builds my reputation. What is R in trust?
The reliability.
Very good. Very nice. Very nice, Simaji. Reliability and respect. That builds trust. What is I in trust?
The intimacy.
Intimacy and integrity. These would be two words that build trust, right? And S is the self-orientation or the selfishness or the self-centeredness, right? So that is important. And ABCD of trust. Maybe we can take a detailed session on trust later on. But since we are talking about reputation and the word trust was there on that slide, am I able to do what has been asked of me? So A in ABCD is able. Do I demonstrate competency? Do I have result orientation? Or am I only a bol bachchan? That is A. The B in ABCD that builds trust is believability. Do people believe in me? Do I walk the talk? Or am I just a preacher? The world today does not need preachers. The world today needs practitioners. C in the ABCD of trust is connectedness. When you are with people, do people enjoy being with you? Do you care about others? And the D is your dependability. How dependable am I? Right? And I think so that builds the trust that we're talking about. Trust or not on money and bank accounts and bank balances or credit cards, but that is so very important, right? And that is how business used to happen, and businesses flourished in the good old days. Not many businesses flourish today. You will see a lot of fly by night operators. They come, set up their office, and they cheat people, and off they go. So the reputation is marred, is stained. For example, I'm not sure whether I shared this with you know or not. If let us say I, sorry to take names, so pardon me for taking names, but let us say if there is a representative who comes from Yes Bank and tells you to put your money in Yes Bank, would you put your money in Yes Bank? I would not, because the chairman is in jail on fraudulent charges. If let us say someone comes from Sahara group of companies and say that put your hard-earned money with us, will you put? No way. So what's there? They grew their businesses, but there is no trust there. So how long will they survive? How long will their businesses thrive? And you know how many banks have shut down in the recent past. And you know what happened to the Punjab Mumbai Cooperative Bank, PMC Bank, and there are so many banks which are just folded up. And you know what is wrong with ICICI's ex chairman Chanda Kochar and her husband. Her husband is in jail. What's the reputation? Right. So what were they doing? They were taking shortcuts. Remember, shortcuts is a short circuit of your career. It will blow your career out. Never ever take shortcuts. So think about it. What is our reputation? What is your reputation? And I would want you to be honest with yourself as you evaluate and consider your own reputation within your inner circle and then the extended circle. And as Seemaji very rightly said, when I spoke about what is C that builds trust, it is character. And I believe our reputation is built on character, and character is one of the inputs that goes into the reputation funnel that we have been talking about and we have been learning. So my input to you, my advice to everyone listening to me is this sentence. Maybe put this as your WhatsApp status for a long time. Always put character before competence. That is a reputation I would want for myself. That here is a person who will never ever, no matter what, on my dead body, if there is a need to compromise on character, no way. That's not happening. I'll rather, eat onions and roti, but would never would ever want to compromise on that word. Character before competence. And I can give you names of people who are brilliantly competent, but the character is zero. You know what is happening with the doctors? You read so many places where doctors are taking money and doing all kind of wrong things. Builders are taking money and building buildings which does not stand an earthquake even measuring 4 on the Richter scale. You read in newspapers that this slab on a bridge collapsed and killed so many people. A bridge that was inaugurated only a few weeks back is now down. You are competent, you can do great jobs, but where is the character? And I think so, if you were to take my input, that is how you stand out, that is how you differentiate yourself from the clutter and from this noise. And trust me, my dear friends, it is difficult to be different. It is easy to conform. It is easy to be one of the many, but I for one am not willing to compromise. And I would want you to understand this. It is advice that we should be more concerned about our character than about our reputation, because reputation is what others think of you, character is what you know of you, right? And your eyes have to be clean. You cannot have dirty eyes. And you look into a person's eyes and you know that there is something wrong deep inside, because eyes are the mirror to your soul, right? So one more time, the reputation funnel that we saw last time has the input of a character and values, has the input of a competence, and what gets processed is the brand that we are talking about, and ultimately it's the reputation that I and you have. So I gave you my answer to this question. How do you stand out? You stand out basis your character. So one of the things I would suggest that you do it tonight, and then tomorrow is Sunday, you will have time. I try to answer this question. How do I want to stand out in this clutter? And how do you answer that question in that interview? Why should I hire you? Remember, it's not just about competencies. People will also be willing to hire you if you have a great attitude, right? And the event that comes to my mind is the 2019 Cricket World Cup, and you can check this on YouTube. Just watch the final moments of the match and the post match celebrations. So you will see the England cricket team celebrating their victory, and they opened up a bottle of champagnes, and you will see two cricketers running away from that podium. Go and watch it out. They say that forget about drinking alcohol, forget about touching that bottle. We don't even want a drop of it to come onto our body. I said, wow. Go and Google about a cricketer, Hashim Amla, one of my favorite cricketers. Check it out. Check out his team jersey, and not just recent past. Check it out from the beginning. One of the most successful cricketers South Africa has produced, Hashim Amla. On his T-shirt, you will not see the sponsor's brand. Why? The team or the company that sponsored the South African cricket team is in the business of making alcohol. And he says, I will never associate myself with that brand. All he had to do was wear that brand. It's not that he's drinking. And for his entire life, listen to me, for his entire career, he took 20% less money to play matches. 20% less. And if you take the money that they make in each match and in each series, that's huge money. And 20% of a huge amount is a huge amount. He said, I am willing to take less, but I will not compromise on my character. Wow. I would want to salute such people in public. Would you do that? Or would you say, I'm not drinking? And that's how you stand out. Check it out, Hashim Amla. Check it out. And see how we are compromising on our values today. So what's that reputation? Have you ever seen a Sachin Tendulkar in parties? You will never see him. And that's how you stand out. And this is a huge challenge that I'm throwing up, especially to all the youngsters on the call. You never associate yourself with anything which has to do with alcohol and tobacco. That's my conviction. And talking about Sachin, you can check this out. When he was on the peak of his career, Pepsi had signed him as a brand ambassador, and they were doing a shoot, and they wanted him to hit a ball with a stump. And he said, no, I cannot do that. You're talking about me becoming greater than the game. I'm a student of the game. I'm not a master of the game. He said, sorry, I cannot do that. Wow. It was like a wow emotion. That's how you stand out. So my question is, think hard, go deep, reflect, retrospect, introspect in terms of how you stand out today and how you would want to stand out in the future. My inputs to you is focus on your uniqueness. And we saw the uniqueness that each one of us has. Do not conform to the ways of this world. I'll repeat, Do not conform to the ways of this world. I need to stand out. Remember, God created us to stand out. It has been our decision to fit in. You don't fit in, you stand out. And that's mighty difficult. Mighty difficult. First, focus upon your uniqueness. Something that the competition can never steal from you. They can steal your product, they can copy your products, but they can never replicate your character, your passion. I may not be the best in what I do. I'm definitely not the best in what I do. I'm still learning. It's miles away from I'm saying that okay, I know this subject very well. It is miles and miles away. But there are a few people in this world who can come and match me on my character. And I'm pretty proud of that. So would after 20 years of working, 25 years of working, 30 years of working, would you have the audacity to make a statement which I'm making in a session which is getting recorded and which is going to be seen and heard by so many people? And I challenge anyone who can come and show me a spot on my character. Not possible. That's how you live your life. That's how you live your life, right? So my competition cannot copy that. So when you talk about your reputation, I think so. One more time. They stand out. And just a quick question to everyone on the call. What stays firm? Values stay firm and principles change as life goes on, or the principles stay steadfast, they never change, and we change values. What is the difference between values and principles? A quick response. Quick one. We have a truncated session today. We will be on air only till 7:30. Sorry, I pressed something. Am I still audible?
Yes, you are audible very much.
Okay, so can one of you, um, the youngsters,
Sir,
tell me the difference between this and this?
sir, values means which we get from our parents. So and
Okay, Yash,
principles are
yeah, please speak.
and principles means that how we see the world means what is our behavior with different people.
Okay, okay. I'm not saying whether it is right or wrong, but I compliment you and appreciate your, attempting to answer this question. Very good. Right. So my applause to you. Very good. Most people will not even attempt to answer this question. So that sets you apart from the 20 people who are on this call. I'll give you 10 more seconds if anyone of you would want to share your thoughts on this. No? Okay, so this is your homework. I'm not going to give you the answer. So don't expect me to give you the answer. I want you to think about this. And like always, please do not Google it. Go and check with your family, with your parents, with the elders in your family. And it would be great if you can give the answer next Saturday. Right? And remember, these are unique to us, and that is how we stand out. So our competencies, our knowledge, our skills, our talents, our behavior, experience, exposure, education, and environment, these are unique to us. And that's how we stand out. So I'm helping you build that answer to the question that people might ask you in the interview that tell me something about yourself. What are your strengths? Why should we hire you? What do you bring on the table? And these are some great inputs that might help you articulate the answer as and when you are required to do that, right? And our personal brand, look at this statement, and I want one of you to explain this. It is the outward manifestation of all that goes on the inside of us. क्या मतलब होता है इसका? Let me show you um, one slide. While I pull up a different slide, I want you to think about what I just asked you.
Maybe we are afraid of trying to answer the question. No? These are not the
Okay,
easy.
no worries, no worries. So let me show this to you. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so now, to make it simple for you, what happened? Can any one of you build a story on this? Quick, 30 seconds. Anyone?
Maybe I was about to have a cup of hot coffee and it got spilled from the cup.
Thank you so much, Anuradhaji. Thank you so much for attempting it. So the question is, why did the coffee spill? You will wonder, Anand भाई, सैटरडे को शाम को 6:30 बजे आप ये क्या कर रहे हो हमारे साथ? Yeah, okay, but anyways, I'm trying to teach something very interesting to each one of you. So
Because it
good
was
answer, Anuradha ji. But coffee क्यों गिर गई?
क्योंकि उसमें कॉफी था.
Correct, very good. That's a good answer, Kishore. Very nice. What else?
It is what is inside the cup which make it out of the cup. Something
Fantastic,
related to that.
fantastic. So what is in your cup? Are you filled with anger? So whenever there is a catalyst, whenever there is a trigger, whenever there is an external stimulus that stirs you up from inside, what comes out from your mouth? Are you abusing? Remember, the personal brand is an external manifestation of what lies inside of us. The coffee spilled because there was coffee inside the cup. If there was orange juice inside the cup, orange juice would have spilled. If there was water in the cup, water would have spilled. If there was tea in the cup, tea would have spilled. So when you go through some difficult situations in life, when life hits you hard, and life will hit you hard, what comes out? What is in your cup? Are you filled with jealousy? Are you filled with negativity? That is what will come out. It all depends upon what I put in my mind. Garbage in, garbage out. Garbage in through your eyes, garbage out. Garbage in through your ears, garbage will come out. Look at the language that people use nowadays. What is in your cup? Your personal brand, my personal brand is the external manifestation of what lies inside me. Inside me should be love. Inside me should be compassion. Inside me should be generosity. Inside me should be gratitude. कहां पर है सर ये सब शब्द आजकल? If you're filled with anger, that is what comes out. So my challenge to you, young boys and girls, the next slide. Are you willing to empty your cup and fill your cup with good stuff? Not what the world is teaching you, but what your parents taught you. Like Yash said so beautifully, what my parents taught me. That's my values. But are you living a life on values which your parents taught you, or are you living a life because you are now getting influenced by the world? So my question to you is, what is inside your cup? And let me come back to that slide that I was talking about. Do let me know if you're able to see that slide. Is this slide visible to you again?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Now do you understand? And I used a visual because I believe when we use visuals, our understanding of the concepts becomes better and clearer. It is the outside or outward manifestation of what is inside us. What is brewing inside? The word is brewing. You brew coffee. What is brewing inside of you? And that gets reflected in the way we walk, the way we talk, the way we deal with people. Do we say thank you? If let's say you are standing here, and if there's an elderly person that comes here, and you're going into a office or a building or a room, and you open the door, do you say, okay, I will stand outside and allow this person to go in first? Where is it? In fact, you will elbow out someone and you would want to go inside. याद रखिएगा, जो अंदर है वो ही बाहर आएगा. एंड मेरा एक सेंटेंस याद रखना, बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स, हो सकता है आज के बाद मैं आपको कभी मिलूं नहीं. मेरे और आपके जीवन में सिर्फ दो चीज है जो मैं कंट्रोल करता हूं, आप कंट्रोल करते हो, और कोई तीसरा व्यक्ति कंट्रोल नहीं करता. सिर्फ दो चीजें हैं जो कंप्लीटली मेरे कंट्रोल में है. नंबर वन, मैं मेरे समय के साथ क्या करता हूं. नंबर टू, मैं मेरे दिमाग में क्या डालता हूं. लर्न टू से नो. एंड आप जो देखते हैं, आप जो सुनते हैं, आप जिनके साथ अपना समय बिताते हैं, याद रखिए उनका इन्फ्लुएंस आपके ऊपर आने ही वाला है. गंदी भाषा वाला अगर आप सीरीज देखोगे नेटफ्लिक्स के ऊपर, तो आप वो गंदी भाषा ही बोलोगे. जो अंदर होगा वही बाहर आएगा. याद रखिएगा, बहुत गहरी चीज सिखाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूं. Why did the cup of coffee spill? Because Anuradha ji very rightly said, because there was coffee inside. What is inside of you? That's your brand. That's your reputation. We react or we respond. We are a people of character or we are people who have no character. And there are very few people. You cannot even complete the count on one hand of people in this world who are people who we relate with character. Like Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, a man of huge character. Massive respect I have for him. Nelson Mandela. आज की दुनिया में ऐसे लोग कहाँ पर हैं? ये मुझे सीखना है, आपको सीखना है, राइट? एंड याद रखिए, वन मोर टाइम रिपीट करते जा रहा हूँ. The input to your reputation is your character, is your values, is your competencies, right? And इसके ऊपर मुझे build करना है. Number one. Second, to build our reputation is build on your network. याद रखिएगा, 60% of senior level jobs post नहीं किए जाते हैं. They are not posted. That means वो इंटरनल जॉब पोस्टिंग जो कंपनी का होता है उसमें इसका पोस्टिंग नहीं होता है. एंड इसके बारे में कंसल्टेंट्स को भी पता नहीं होता है. तो यू गेट दीज जॉब्स थ्रू द नेटवर्क दैट यू हैव. सो इफ यू आर मेकिंग नोट्स, रिमेंबर योर नेटवर्क विल डिटरमाइन योर नेट वर्थ. आप क्या जानते हो वो इंपॉर्टेंट है, किसको जानते हो वो भी इंपॉर्टेंट है. So if you want to expand your network, I think so, your reputation precedes you. Like I said at the start of the series, if you have an account on social media, any account on social media, you already have a brand of yours and hence a reputation that people have. So what is the brand that you are building in the minds of your future employers, future stakeholders? And I would not want to associate myself with a person who has a shady image. because you are known by the company you keep. It's a statement that you should take very seriously. You are known by the company you keep. Remember this. It is the positioning that we are talking about. And I spoke about positioning as the image that I would want people to have about me in their minds. So when they think about me, what is the image they have? When they think about you, what is the image they have is so very, very important. So what would you want to do it, right? And think about this statement that Peter Drucker said. Can anyone explain this statement? This is regarding to networking. And Peter Drucker is considered to be one of the modern management gurus.
So if I may, can I?
Yes, yes. And this is important for you, Ashish, because you are a budding entrepreneur.
Right. So many business meetings or meetings with people are done over lunches and dinners. Hence, a good amount of networking is done over lunch and dinner. Hence, this
Correct.
quote signifies that the power of networking, which is underrated, is significant and is not taught in MBA courses. The power of simple lunches and dinner with people whom you can help, and you can be helped by them just by knowing them.
Correct. Correct. Thank you, Ashish, for the description for that. The next question, obvious question that follows is, do we know how to network over lunch? Do we practice? Do we have an elevator speech ready? Remember, I think it's about 3 Saturdays back or 3 Sundays back, or maybe 4 Sundays back, I spoke about elevator speech. And I gave you the inputs that goes in building an elevator speech or your elevator pitch. How do you introduce yourself in 10, 15, 20 seconds? How do you shake hands? Now, there are other people on that dining table. There are other people having lunch. Why should someone have a conversation with you? So how do I break the ice, as they say, and start a conversation? You need to practice that. I need to practice that. Why would someone want to talk with me? Why would someone want to talk with you? Right? So this is something that we have to learn. And unfortunately, no business school, no graduate school, no college is teaching our youngsters how to network. So let's take the example of Ashish. Ashish would want to be an entrepreneur in the field of technology. He has his own startup. But he would have an ambition to reach up to, let's say, Tim Cook's level, set up a company that goes on to become an Apple of the future. And he will have to ensure that he goes to meetings where there are a lot of senior people, lot of successful people, lot of stakeholders, decision maker, influencers. But how does he strike a conversation? He will go to meetings, conferences. How do you introduce yourself? Right? And those are things that is what I'm trying to share with you, and hopefully you will learn about it. Remember, I spoke about this. Our network is who we know. Our reputation is who knows us. I made this statement, I think so last time, that our reputation precedes us. It goes before us. And I also made that statement that what we know is important, but who we know is even more important. So young boys and girls, Ashish and everyone else, please work on these points. You will have an opportunity, you miss an opportunity, and you'll regret it for the rest of your lives. And these are great inputs that are coming your way. I hope you will make the best use of it. Network more. And please remember, I'm using this as a different word. I'm talking about network with a hyphen. It is not net chatting. It is not a casual discussion. Most people think of networking as a casual discussion. No, it has the word work. And I gave you that statement that your network will determine your net worth. And think of the next statement. Would want one of you to explain this statement.
Yes, Abhi, I would like to try.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. It says that the richest people's focus is completely different than the other people. So everyone generally looks around for the work, as you were also saying as an example that people approach you on LinkedIn and then they directly ask for a job or a recommendation. So they just look for work, but the richest people or the people who value the relationship and network, they look for building networks, and they know that whatever they want to achieve in a business, it will automatically follow if the network is strong enough.
A good
So it
attempt,
will
Kapil. Thank
precede.
you. Thank you for attempting it. And it takes courage to, think on the feet and articulate your thoughts in front of many people, right? So good. Thank you so much, right? So it's basically talking about not to be short-sighted in your approach, not to be myopic in your approach, but to have a long-term view of your life. And when you're building your network, the work will follow. Look at most of the salespeople. They will just want to have a quick sale and then go away, talking about things which are not there in the product, which is called mis-selling. And they only got the work. If they had built the network, they would have got recommendations from that person. Like in the previous sessions we saw, would you want people to recommend us? Would you want people to hire us? Would you want people to promote us? Would you want people to be associated with us? The answer obviously is yes. But if I'm only looking at work, if I'm only looking to make my two ends meet, I had a target to sell, let's say 5 units or whatever, and I sold 5 units, my day is done. Yes, you did your job for the day. Did you build your network? And that cannot be built without having a proper reputation and the proper mindset. Don't take shortcuts. And for those who are like Ashish, budding entrepreneurs, remember, you need to sell to sustain yourself. If there is no sales, there is no revenues, then you can't sustain yourself. And one of the best ways to sell is through references. Why would someone give you a reference? Why would someone refer you in his or her own inner circle? And if they do refer, your job is 60% done, because you already have someone recommending you. So you're not making a cold call, as they say, right? And the point that I shared with you some time back. The third point that I need to be careful about is raise your profile. Remember, a statement that I gave some time back is you are known by the company you keep. Raise your profile. Remember, one of the statements that I've said so many times, that eagles don't fly with pigeons. Let's look at some of the points as we close it in the next 10 odd minutes. Do we do this? Or do we do a shoddy job at it? करने को कहा है तो कर लेते हैं, ठीक है यार, करना पड़ता है, नौकरी पे जाना पड़ता है. That's not the attitude. If you have attended my series when I spoke about how do you become a person of excellence, how do I have a spirit of excellence, I gave you two inputs. Number one, if you want to become a person of excellence, two things. Number one, what you do it well. आप जो भी करते हैं उसको अच्छे से करिए. Whatever you do it well. Number two, whatever you do it well and with a good attitude. So just don't do a get by work. Just don't do a quick dirty work and then say that I did my job. That's not right. Number two, while we are brilliant at what we do, we cannot be anonymous. You need to talk about it. You need to ensure that your work is being spoken about. For example, I'll give you a cricketing example. The Indian cricket team has been announced for the tour to Australia. And everyone is talking, why is Surya Kumar Yadav not in the team? So is the world going to rally behind you saying that, no, this person needs to be there on the team? Isn't that a huge reputation that Surya Kumar Yadav, who plays for Mumbai Indians, has built for himself? He is not talking about that, why did you not hire me? The world is talking, experts are talking that it's not fair that he's not on the team. There are people who are recommending him because that's the brand that he has built. And what has made him to reach to that level? Performance and consistency in that performance. Huge statement that I'm making. So would your seniors fight for you? Would your stakeholders say that if there is a person who comes and gets the job done, it has to be you, it has to be you, no one else? Raise your profile, right? Live in the world of excellence. Don't be trapped in the world of mediocrity. It does not help, right? And the last is this one. No one notices our brilliance if we do not raise our profile. You may be a brilliant gully cricketer, but you need to move up and become a great Ranji Trophy player. Once you become a great Ranji Trophy player, raise your profile, become a great international player. But check it, how many Ranji Trophy players, and sorry for taking cricketing examples for those who don't follow cricket, Ranji Trophy is a domestic cricket and the highest level of domestic cricket in our country. If there are 100 players who play Ranji Trophy for whichever state they represent or they play for, how many of them go on to play for India? Not even 1%. They don't raise their levels. They reach a particular level and that becomes the plateau. They don't go above and beyond. So you need to raise the level of your game. I'll repeat, you need to raise the level of your game. You get opportunities, but you don't perform. That's the end of you. Right? So I need to be ready. I need to be ready. Right? And the last slide that I want to share before we say thank you for the day, because I want to end it slightly early, because this is my brother's account and he has a meeting in some time. So I don't want him to come and then he not be able to do his work. So let's take about 5 more minutes, and I want one of you to explain this statement. And there is one more slide that I will show and then say thank you. Can anyone explain this? I've already given some inputs on this. Quick. Or let me pick up names. No, I will not do that. So voluntarily, if you would want to explain this statement. Raise your standards, raise your expectations, raise your minimums of what you will allow into your life that does not honor or respect you. It has to do with your physical association. This has to do with your mental association. And if you were not able to get this answer, that's fine. You may want to get that answer from the last slide. And thank you to Ashish for designing this particular slide or this particular quote. Let's read this together. I would want all of you to unmute and read this together. Can you all read this together?
Okay.
क्या हम सब इसको
Quality
साथ
of
Yes, please go on.
quality of our life is often determined by quality of people
quality of people
we hang out with. Take a minute and
and think
think
about
about all the traits
all
you
the
want
traits
in your life.
in your life.
Now
Ask
ask
yourself,
yourself if people in your
if
life
people in your
share
life
at
share
least
at least
some of
some of
these
these
traits.
traits.
Thank you. Thank you for those who did that. So, a couple of points in this, right? So, who do you hang out with? Think about the 5 people that you generally spend your maximum time with. Yeah, I just want you to think about them and then check what are the qualities that I would want to have in me? What are the traits that I would want to build in me? What are the attributes that I would want to be associated with? Let's say I would want to be a person who has the trait of excellence, is a person of character, is a person of commitment. And then check if these are the traits that I would want to build for myself and hence my reputation. Check if the people that you are associating with, you hang out with, do they have these qualities? If no, how will you have it? Remember, I and you are the lowest common denominator of the people that we hang out with. You and I will be the average of the 5 people that you hang out with. You and I will have the mindset of the 5 people that we hang out with. You and I will have the thought process of the people that we hang out with. Be very careful. My last input for the day to each one of you, make sure that the people that you hang out with are better than you, are brighter than you, are sharper than you. Eagles don't fly with pigeons. When you are born an eagle, be an eagle. So check for yourself. And that's how you build your reputation. That's how you build a brand, right? So there is a lot more that I would want to share with you in this particular series, that how do I build my reputation. We have seen 3 points. We will see some more next Saturday. Yeah, so that's pretty much from my side. Is there any question that you would want to have me to answer? We can take about 2 more minutes.
During your session, I wrote Jawaharlal Nehru and Salman Khan.
Absolutely.
And I can give you so many more names also.
Pardon?
And what I personally feel is they don't have good reputation, and still they were at top. And at the same time, Sardar Patel, he was having very good reputation and honesty and whatever you think one should have. He was having everything, and he lost. And Salman Khan is at
Lost what?
top.
Lost
Means
what?
he could not become the prime minister. He could not got his place. And today, Mr. Modi has to struggle to establish that fact after
So
60 years.
do you think becoming a prime minister is success?
At that time, yes.
That is your perception, may not be his perception. Remember, do not judge a product by by the end it has. Right there, I can give you names of so many people who did not have the position, who did not have the privileges, who did not have the power, did not have the money, did not have what the world talks about as success, but they were hugely successful people. So I would beg to disagree that
Yeah.
Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel did not succeed, or he failed, or he lost. Sorry, I would not want to second that thought, because for me, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel is the Iron Man of India. He is one of the most respected leaders that the world of politics has seen the world over, not just in India. It's not that he did not become a prime minister. It's not that if he had become the prime minister, we would have said that he did not lose. No, it's not like that. We remember him for the virtues that he stood for. We remember him for the values that he not just spoke about, he stood for. And that's what your brand is. That's what we are learning. And so, if at the end of all that I'm sharing with you, if some of you are going to think that if I get a position only then I'm successful, then I lost, then all the efforts that I put in have gone down the drain. So please,
success has nothing to do with your achievement or your position or whatever you get, because you named Mr. Hamla also, the cricketer Hamla, and then you named Mr. Kalam, right? All these people were having very good position in their life.
No, I did not. Hashim Amla, I did not say he was the captain of of South African cricket team. He never. I did not mention that he was just a player. He did not have a position. But what helped him stand out from his peer group of players who play the game of cricket was his character. That's what I said. So please don't have selective listening, Dubey sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Listening is a skill that very few have.
Thank you.
So what we just demonstrated is also called selective listening. I never said Hashim Amla was the best captain that the South African cricket team has seen. I did not say that.
I didn't say that.
Amongst all the people who have played the game of cricket, he stands out for the respect that he gets because of the character that he had, and he has shown it.
Okay.
He was ready to let go of huge amount of money, saying that I will stand for my character.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So make sure that you listen to this recording again and don't have selective listening. That's in fact an insult to the person. It's an insult to the person who is spending so much of time, energy in helping you learn something, and I don't even know you.
Yes.
Maybe I think
please don't be judgmental.
We are on a wrong path. That's not the point, Mr. Dubey. So don't get very. I think.
No, I'm just telling that person that listen to the.
I will just say one word कि sir coffee था तो coffee बाहर आया. Simple as that. मेरे मन में क्वेश्चन था, मैंने आपको बोला, अब आप जो बोल रहे हैं वो कॉफी बाहर आ रहा है सर, प्लीज.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. तो मैं आपको वही बता रहा हूँ कि आप सिलेक्टिव लिस्टिंग मत करिए.
आपने 5वीं बार ये चीज रिपीट किया, मतलब आप सीधा जजमेंट ही दे रहे हैं कि मैंने सिलेक्टिव लिस्टिंग की. मैंने आपको एक क्वेश्चन पूछा कि आपने बात किया रेपुटेशन के बारे में. सो जवाहरलाल नेहरू का रेपुटेशन इतना अच्छा नहीं था, फिर भी उनको गांधी जी ने सिलेक्ट किया. और पटेल जब का सही में बहुत अच्छा रेपुटेशन था, he was not selected.
वो हम कैसे कह सकते हैं उनका रेपुटेशन अच्छा था और गलत था? Because मैं और आप
आपने ही बोला, अभी आपने ही बोला कि अच्छा था, अभी भी आप बोल रहे हैं अच्छा है, और मैं भी बोल रहा हूँ सलमान खान का अच्छा नहीं है, वो रूल कर रहा है.
Again, वो subjective assessment है ना?
Maybe it is not. Yeah, I think, and it's not. Let's say we have a long way to understand these things.
True. That's okay. Thank you.
That Mr. Dubey, you may have. You would have your own justification. No harm in it. Let's. We will not try to, let us say, change that. But we are all learning. Some point of time, these issues do bother us, and we do justify by saying that whether it was a luck or maybe somebody else was in a position, so he did that. Reality is, as AB is saying, we may not be fully, let us say, aware. The way we are also we are judging people from that angle. I have extreme respect for Sardar Patel. There is no doubt about it, right? But let's not get into an issue so much wherein the major purpose of the whole learning gets, let's say, distorted or is lost, right? So I think it's a wonderful session that we have been having. There will be something which will always still bother us, whether what happened, right? We
that is
learn.
what that is what is learning. It is not debate. That is what I said. Thrice I said okay, thank you, but then again and again he was telling me ki, selective listening. So सीधा
Now,
मतलब जब
now,
दिया था. So
Kishore,
5
you
times
should
he
not
rejected,
do
sir.
this. Kishore, you should not do this thing, right?
Okay, sir.
Kishore,
Thank you.
you
Thank
should
you.
not do this thing,
Thank you, sir.
right? I think the maybe you also have you wanted to maintain a time, and you have to hand over this the link the session to your brother. So thank you very much, and I appreciate Kishore your participation. But again, let's understand that somewhere we will always stop, right? Thank you
So,
very much.
absolutely,
Yeah.
Thank you,
absolutely,
sir.
absolutely. Right? So look forward to connecting with you again next what Saturday, yeah,
Yeah,
and
that
we'll
is 7th
continue this
of
discussion. And the next Saturday will be 7th of November,
yeah.
and we will continue this discussion. And so, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patient listening. And I have to sign off now because I have to give this platform back to my brother. This is his account, and he has another meeting lined up. So we will continue this discussion next Saturday. So thank you so much, and
Thank you very
God
much.
bless you. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
ST
you
Patel,
so
sir. Thank
Most welcome.
you,
Yeah,
everyone.
it's Patel, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ashish, you should be stopping the recording a little bit early.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yes, I'll do it.